Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
Boom, back in the DBDS Live studio. It's your man Mo here with your man Mel Money. Hit him up, Mel Money.
Hey, what's going on, my peoples? I know we got this whole coronavirus going on, but be safe out there. Prayers up to everyone. We're going to continue to just bless you with this fly show. So let's get it started, Mo.
Yes, sir. Listen, today we're going to be talking about, this is dedicated to the women. All right. This show is going to be called How to Attract and Keep the Right Man. You know, look at today. Let's just be straight up. Today it's difficult enough for women to just attract a good man, right? But that's only stage one. Stage two is you got to be able to keep that man, right? So there's certain things you need to do. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be discussing that. Be ready to take notes. You know what I'm saying? We have insight from both men and women coming your way. All right. So just think of it this way. This is your toolkit information. We're about to build up your toolkit, and you're going to be ready for the real deal. Mel Money, let them know about DBDS, man, and what we are all about.
Absolutely. So before we get started, let's just tell you what the DBDS brand is all about. So we promote thoughtful relationship topics on social media, our live show, and other outlets to help people to become a better version of themselves. We want people to embrace respect, love, and loyalty and have healthier relationships. And in doing so, you have to change how you are, but never change who you are. And a better version of yourself creates a healthier relationship. Healthier relationships creates healthier families. And healthier families create healthier communities. So let's get this though on the road, brothers.
All right, look, I got an announcement to make, man. A serious announcement. Now check this out. August 31st, 2017. All right, that was the beginning of the DBDS Facebook group. Now, my man Mel Money, remember that day because we kicked off the Facebook group, right?
Yeah,
And
no doubt, man.
I think it took us about 4 weeks, man, to get like 200 people, right?
200, man, 200. Okay.
You remember that, Mel, right? You remember when we had 200 people, man?
Yes, brother. I remember that very well, man. It's like yesterday, man.
Yeah, two and a half years ago. And
right.
Today we reached a crazy milestone. So I'm going to throw this up here just so y'all can see, man. We got to celebrate this. Boom. We just hit 5,000 members. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So today, you know, y'all know DBDS stands for Dear Brothers, Dear Sisters, but today it's standing for Dope Brothers and Dope Sisters because the group is on fire, man. We love this group. It's on fire, man. So listen, congratulations, y'all. We really appreciate y'all being part of our group, man. And we just gotta keep posting the dopeness. Yeah, let's take a toast. Go ahead, Mel. Toast it up.
Toast it up, virtual baby. Toast to all the DBDS family, man. To all of you peoples, no doubt, man.
No doubt.
Okay.
All right, now look, we got an amazing show today, man. We got some amazing guests that's coming in. I'm about to bring them in. They got some serious insight. We're gonna bring in right now. We're gonna bring in my girl T Quest from Indiana. Welcome to the show, T Quest.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hi.
Yes, welcome. Hey, look, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, like you said, I go by the name T Quest. I am an entertainer, radio personality, a blogger, podcaster, fashion designer, comedian, party host, and then some. You know,
I asked her to cut her resume short, man. Y'all see, she could have kept going, man. But look at that's what we do, man. That's the kind of guests we bring in the building. All right, coming next is our girl out of Texas, our girl Monica. Hello, Monica.
Hey y'all, how are y'all?
Hey.
We good. Welcome to the show. Welcome to DBDS Live. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
All right, my name is Monica. Right now, I'm about to graduate right now with my master's in healthcare admin with a concentration in applied gerontology. I've always been in the healthcare field. Biology was my major in school. I've always also been into radio, television, and film for many parts of my life. So I've done things from like co-hosting shows and other nice gigs. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. We're glad to have you here to share some of your insight and your information with the DBDS people. Mel Money, kick us off, man.
Yeah, so we have this section called the anonymous section where people post their issues and they look for some guidance to help elevate the relationship. So here it goes. So it reads, so I recently been going out with a handsome man I've been friends with for over a year. We used to only hang out in a group, but we started dating last April. Due to work and school, we haven't been able to see each other a whole lot. And most of the times it's me always contacting him first and setting up our dates. It's confusing because the only thing is I can't tell if he's into me like I'm into him. The only time he wants to see me is during late night hours, and then he will leave in the morning. He explained to me that he'd rather take his time and does not want anyone in our business, and I completely understand. We are not friends on social media because he believes that people will get suspicious about our relationship, even though he said he could see himself marrying me one day. I try to show him that I'm the one. For example, I introduce him to my close friends and family members, even though he never introduced me to his inner circle. I'm so confused because he's such a great guy, and I don't want to pass him up and start all over because our mental and physical connection is on point. I don't want to scare him or ruin this for either of us. How can I make him commit and have him put more effort into our relationship? Please help me.
Boom. Listen, I don't want to bias anybody, but Biggie Smalls had a song called Hypnotize. I ain't going to say nothing else. All right. So I'm going to go right here to my girl T Quest. T Quest, what you think about the situation? Give my girl some advice here. She needs some advice.
I'm first. Oh, how awkward. No, I'm joking. It's crazy because listening to the scenario reminded me of a scenario that I've actually been in the past.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, wait, did I write this before? At the end of the day, they always say, like, you can't raise a man, just like you can't change a man. You know what I'm saying? If he really wants to be there for you, he's going to be there for you. If he wants to be with you, or how would I want to put this? If he truly wants to have a real relationship with you, he would actually make the effort. You can't push him to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in this situation, it's already so many red flags, like it's not going to work regardless. Because if he sees you as his future, but he only see you late night, come on now, don't even balance out equally. You know, and just like before, I've allowed the guy to meet my family and all that stuff because I knew exactly what I wanted. Maybe he's not sure that you truly are what he's saying. He's saying it, but his actions don't match his words. Once again, is another red flag. You know what I'm saying? So
keep that in mind, man. We talk, T Quest talk about red flags. We're gonna talk about them some more. I'm gonna go to my girl Monica. Monica, you got any advice for this young lady?
Yes, a lot of advice. Can I first off give like a message to the fellas though too?
Oh, go ahead, what you're saying.
Fellas, don't be whack. I feel like it's crazy because she said he talks about marriage, and I think that's just a super important topic to discuss with somebody. That even though yes, you should see from the signs and actions do speak louder than words. I don't think that's anything to be playing or toying with anybody's emotions about as far as marriage and a life with somebody. And so I think fellas need to just know, if you want somebody, I understand it's just part of keeping that girl around because you want to have your cake and eat it too. But I think that's just actually very whack for a dude to do, is to lie about something like that. But on top of that, she should also know that, like T Quest was kind of saying, like, the actions aren't matching. If you want somebody to be in your life forever, how come they're only seeing you late at night? How come, you've probably never seen their family? Sometimes you might see their family. Nowadays, people are a little bit more relaxed on things like that. But how come you're not seeing, how they act outside of just the bedroom, just hanging out with them? So I think, she should just love herself and just know that if you are somebody, or you're somebody that you would like to date, other men will like to date, or men will like to date you too. So if you just take time to focus on yourself and your goals, I think that's the most attractive thing to a dude. So even if sometimes, I guess we'll get on this topic more, but if you start out making yourself seem like you need that person to complete you, they're going to continue to treat you like you're just a last option, like you're always going to be there. So
boom, you heard the jewels right there. Love yourself. And guess what? If he's there, trust me, other dudes probably want to be there too. So don't feel like you're obligated and that's your only option. Mel Money, what's your thoughts, bro?
Listen, I agree with T Quest and Monica on this. I mean, sadly, this is a woman in denial, and she allowed her lusts and emotions to override her logic. And this is very dangerous because she is already emotionally invested to someone who is emotionally, I would say, detached from her. But it's reaping the benefits she is offering him. And this is what I call the bad investment. And I believe being in denial is hands down the biggest mistake women make when dealing with relationship issues, because some women, after making a poor selection, they will try to use logic to justify their actions. For example, she mentioned they started dating since last April, and she accepts his excuse that he does not want anyone to know about their relationship because he only wants to take his time. Listen, newsflash, he only wants to take his time to penetrate you and smash your chocolate chip cookies during late night hours for recreational purpose. And this is why I tell my sisters that it's critical that you must establish more codes, which is your personal relationship principles when you select a suitable partner for a long-term or lifetime commitment. I would say even furthermore, you must establish rules of engagement, which are set in personal expectations of what you want out of the relationship. Because the reality is she is following his rules of engagement, which puts her at a disadvantage. And she will continue, like Monica said, to lose her identity and remain as like his amusement park only for his pleasure. So it's important to pay attention to the nonverbal cues, because a man who says, I'm going to marry you one day, yet his action clearly displays that he treats you like a side piece and they do not parallel with one another, it's a huge red flag. One more area that I want to mention, she mentioned that she contacts him on a consistent basis and she set up dates. I always tell my classy sisters to use your flirtatious output and allow him to present himself, allow him to set the dates, allow him to show effort so you can see if he's worthy of your time. And during the friend zone phase, you can flirtatiously communicate your moral codes and rules of engagement. This is known as high emotional intelligence because you are using your intuition, but also you're taking your time to see if this brother is truly who he say he is. So that way you guys could take it to the next level.
Boom, just like that, y'all. So look, we talking to you, whoever you are out there, Miss Anonymous, you got some good advice right there. All I'm gonna say right here is this. If you had to make an anonymous post to ask for advice, you probably already got your answer. I'm just going to leave it like that.
No doubt.
Probably already got your answer, all right? All right, y'all, we about to run right into our show now. Like I said, it's how to attract and keep the right man. We're going to be talking about both topics. We're going to jump right into our first topic. First topic is when you meet a man, you with a man, y'all going through this get to know you zone, you know what I mean, the friend zone, and you're trying to know each other, trying to learn each other. Be flexible. Be flexible. So look, I got a story. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm gonna tell it anyway because that's how we get down, man. We ain't never scared. You know what I'm saying? So look, the deal is this. I come from the gutter, man. I come from poverty, dysfunction, low education, all of that. All right, I experienced all of that. All right. So I'm gonna tell you a little story that when I was dating this girl and we were living together, and this is what I learned when I was growing up. We would have to share wash rags. You know what I mean? My grandmother would. We just be like 8 of us in the house, right? And she'd be like, "Okay, take a bath. You take a bath with the wash rag, then you wash it out, and then the next person take. It was good. That's how I learned, right? So one day I took a shower, right? I'm in the shower. So this is part of my evolution with women too, right? So I'm in the shower, I washed up, took a rag, and then she said, "There's no more wash rags." I said, "Use mine." She said, "That's nasty." I said, I got mad, man, because I'm like, it ain't nasty. My grandmother said that's okay. You know what I mean? So we kind of had a little argument, but then, later on I realized, man, listen, just because that's how you grow up, just because that's what you know, just because that's what you learn, that doesn't make it right. So you got to be flexible, man. Part of my transformation was after that point, and I started analyzing things. Part of my transformation was, to give things at least one shot. You know what I mean? Be open. All right, Mel Money, what you think about this one, man? Be flexible.
Man, that's a great story that you share, and it breaks to my point about the flexibility, because high value men know that an adaptable system makes for a better long-term partner than the stubborn one. And truthfully, if you're the type of woman who always want to do something that's convenient to you and you're never satisfied with your significant other's creative output, you will self-sabotage a potential healthy relationship. And even if you're really assertive and enjoy getting your way all the time, remember that the kind of men you want to end up with won't find this very attractive at all. The only kind of women that lack flexibility that they will attract will be the Passover brothers, the doormats, the cupcake brothers, the ones who don't have a backbone, the one that you can walk all over, the kind of men that you can mold and control, which will decrease the attraction level in the long haul. So I tell my classy sisters, don't be rigid. Always be open and trying new things, because one of the key elements in a relationship is to learn off each other. And this will allow the brother to get creative, which will provide him with a healthy challenge, I would say, to impress and please you. And when you show appreciation to his creative output, whether it's big or small, he will continue to do so. This also, I believe, keeps the relationship brand new, spicy, especially if the brother is spontaneous compared to one who is predictable.
Boom. Monica, we talking about letting the ladies know that they should be flexible in a relationship. What's your thoughts on that?
I think you just have to always, in a relationship, kind of meet that person where they are. If you are, like Tramel was saying, rigid, then you might miss out on someone who is a good person because you are just so stuck in your ways. At the same time, you should still have your values and morals that, of course, can't be, ignored and are just as valid. But you have to just make sure that you are leaving that room open for understanding, I guess. And I wrote something down the other day too, because I don't know if y'all had seen that post going around about kind of on Facebook about like a 9 to 5. Like, I guess girls saying that they don't want a 9 to 5 dude, they rather want the CEO. And then their answer for that was because I get the money now. And I'm like, sometimes it's fine to be with the person that's not the CEO yet. You know what I mean? If they're hard workers and they're doing what they can for their family and being there for you, then I think that's fine. And he might be that CEO one day, but right now he's working towards that. So that patience and flexibility is just important in a relationship if you want a good one, to me.
Before I go to T-Quest, I'm just going to say this. Donald Trump got more money than Jesus himself, and he treats his wife like garbage. So it's not all about the money. Don't just go after the CEO. T-Quest, thoughts on this one?
Yes, I agree that you have to be very flexible. It's like yoga is good for life. You know what I'm saying? It's good for your health. It's good for your mind, body, and soul. But when I speak to people about stuff like this, I always speak from my perspective, from my experiences. I'm the type of woman, I'm very flexible, you know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, if that's the man I want to be with, that's like my king. You know what I'm saying? Whatever makes him happy is going to make me happy. To be his support system, his cheerleader, whatever I got to do to make sure he's good, we're good, right? The only problem is some women put them on such a high pedestal, you forgot it has to go both ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be here for you if you're not going to be here for me. I'm flexible for you, but you want to be stiff when it comes to me, but not in a good way. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. And that's why I always tell people you can't skip the friendship and dating phase, because that's when you're supposed to have the strongest communication, solid foundation to know that person that you want to be dating. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of person that I am. What type of person are you? Can this really go together? You know what I'm saying? Are you willing to be flexible? Are you willing to compromise? Is this a pet peeve for you? Is this going to make you angry? What's your trigger points? Because we need to know if we're compatible before we even can take it to the next level. Most people don't realize certain things. So after the fact, when they're dating or shacking up, because they never had that silent communication in the beginning to even see if they're compatible or if they're willing to be flexible. You know what I'm saying? They keep skipping the basic parts in the beginning stages. And that's where red flags come in later on.
Boom. Somebody throw up some fire emojis. We'll be right back. This is DBDS Live. How to attract and keep the right man.
If you would like to learn how... Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women. If you would like to learn how to establish and maintain long-term meaningful relationships, join DBDS University today. You will learn about interpersonal relationships, first date tips, the relationship zones, emotional intelligence, and more.
Say thank you to my big brothers, Mel and Mo, for creating the DBDS University with the live, the book, the website. It's helped me so much grow as an individual.
What up, y'all? Back in the DBDS Live studio here with my girl Monica, my girl T-Quest, and my homie Mel Money. we are talking about how to attract and keep the right man. It's dedicated to the ladies, so I'm hoping y'all taking notes, man. First piece we did was fire, man. You know,
No doubt.
drop some jewels out there on you. Mel Money, any thoughts on anybody on Facebook? Any questions? Any
Yes.
shout outs?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to our DBDS ambassador, Nicole Marie Brown. Shout out to Marshall.
Oh,
Yes, Marlisha. Shout out to my man Malcolm Blue, Samuel Jones, Shauna Roberts, Ashley Floyd. Shauna Roberts said, "Good advice, Monica." Shout out to Ty Lynn, Natalie Hill. The list goes on and on. Shout out to all my peoples. Much love, and I'll continue to do shout outs throughout the show.
oh man, glad to see all y'all people tuned in, man. You know, the DVD is live. We doing it right here. So look, we're gonna jump into our next topic. Like I said, we're talking about how to attract and keep the right man. You know, one thing you might want to do when you meet somebody is show a little restraint. When you
thirsty,
first meet a man, show a
I'm
little
thirsty.
restraint. Now I got a real appropriate story to kick this one off because this actually happened. So you know what I'm saying, this is real. So listen, me and Mel are we open ourselves up for confidential discussions with anybody who has relationship issues. So that people contact us, they ask for advice, right? So I got contacted by this lady. And she was so excited, man. She was on the phone. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited! I'm so excited!" I said, "What happened? What happened? What happened?" She said, well, there was a guy who, when we were younger, you know, we were just friends because you know he had a situation, I had a situation, but you know, I kind of was feeling him, you know, but we couldn't do nothing. I had to respect that because he was in a situation, you know. But then it was like 20 years later, they grew up and they ran into each other just by chance, and he was like, "Listen, let me take you out to dinner." And at that time, he was single and she was single, right? So this was working out good for her because she had always been feeling this cat. So they went out to dinner. Man, she said the conversation was smooth like butter. They talked all night. You know, it was like you know, mental foreplay, man. It was a beautiful thing, right? And she said, I'm feeling like I'm on cloud 9 right now. She said, "What do I do?" I said, "Okay, let me ask you a few questions. What happened at the end of the date?" She said, "Well, he took me home, he gave me a kiss on the cheek, and said goodnight." She says, "But so what should I do? I need to do something, right?" I said, "Listen, you got any friends?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Go find your friends and go get your ass busy. Don't do nothing. He likes you, he's gonna contact you. Just go do that." And she's like, "You sure?" "Yeah, just go do that. Just do that." She's like, "Okay." All right. So I found out later, man, she didn't listen to my advice at all. She sent this cat, the day after, she sent this cat a big, long-winded text. You know, "I had so much fun. I like spending time with you. You know, where's our relationship going? When we gonna get married? When I'm gonna meet your mom? I can't wait to meet your mom. I love you." Dude was ghost, disappeared, lost it. All right, she lost that whole situation, and I mean, you know, y'all know. Most dudes gonna try to smash the chocolate chip cookies on the first date. He gave this girl a kiss on the cheek and said goodnight. He really liked her. She messed it up. Show restraint when you meet somebody new. I'm coming to you, D-Quest. I'm coming to you. Talk to me about this one. Show some restraint when you first meet a man. Talk to me.
Oh my gosh. No, no, I totally get it. I totally like with me in the entertainment industry, I meet guys all the time, right? But it's only rare that certain ones will catch my attention. So if the selective few men catch my attention, I'm like, oh my God, I actually like somebody. But I ain't crazy enough to make him get uncomfortable. Like, you know what? Never mind. You know what I'm saying? Because you get so excited, especially if your heart's been broken so many times. When you find someone that's finally doing everything right, you don't know how to handle it. Like people who come into money, as soon as they get it, they don't know how to handle it. You know, and this go back to having the proper guidance. People let you know, like, look, if this is to happen, yo, calm down. You know, I said you already won. Why are you tripping? You know what I'm saying? But maybe no one taught her. Like you said, you try to give her advice and she respects you and she still didn't listen. You know what I mean? But I feel bad because you know how hard it is to find a good one.
I know.
I feel so bad, but this is something that happens in society. That's why I tell people, don't be afraid of like therapy. Don't be afraid of amazing groups like this, because they truly try to guide you properly if the people around you in your circles and your family is not there to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do one wrong move, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad, but hopefully she learned from this lesson. Because you know how hard it is to find a man that's still a gentleman? Like, I'll be like, I try not to flirt as much on a date. I try not to make too much eye contact because I don't want to like jump in to take my cookie just because I smiled at him.
No doubt.
And then
That's what we do.
Walked into the door and gave her a kiss. That is heaven on earth.
Listen. That's crazy. I know. I felt bad like you when I heard the news, T-Quest. I felt really bad too. But I'll just say this, man. Before I go to Monica, I'm gonna say this: if there's 10 people, and I tell them, listen, the stove over there is burning hot. Don't touch it. If there's 10 people, and I tell them that, 8 of them gonna touch the stove. That's just
I can't be
nature.
that hot.
That's just human nature. Yeah, exactly. I need to really check this. That's human nature. Ain't nothing you can do about that.
No.
So, that's what we live with. So, Monica, what's your thoughts on this one? Show some restraint when you first meet a man.
Yeah, well, first off, Mo, that's what people are doing now. They're telling people to stay inside the house, and people are going on beaches. So we know this is an experiment in human nature right now. People will not listen. But yeah, as far as the story, like you were saying, oh my God, like I think women just have a tendency. It's like we like something, and we're kind of naturally, I feel like, more of the controllers. Like we want to control stuff. Like T-Quest was saying, we want to change a man. We're just like want to be in control of the situation. So I think him, I think too, women aren't used to a gentleman sometimes. That's another thing. So when he didn't make a move, she probably was unsure and thinking maybe there's something wrong with me because you're not used to it. When in actuality, it's like he really likes you and he's really not trying to smash and pass. He really respects you. And so I think that's the first thing. Women aren't just used to that type of treatment. But on top of it, I think it's just kind of like what I said, refer to just like be someone you want to date. Like you don't need to. Women just want to, call the guy they like and be there, and they want him to contact them back. But it's not necessarily about games, not about ignoring your phone or trying to act a certain way. It's just about being busy, being that person that's genuinely busy. Like you are on your grind, you're doing what you need to do. And I promise you, if a guy likes you enough, he's going to notice that and be like, what is she doing all the time? Like, why? You know what I mean? He's going to want to reach out, and be with you and be part of your life if he really cares enough. I think it's just natural that happens. So kind of my thoughts on that.
No doubt. So look, this is the thing. We're going to be talking more about, I said we're going to be talking more about red flags, but guess what, ladies? You got to be able to recognize the green flags too, because that was a huge green flag.
Oh, yeah.
That brother just gave a kiss on the cheek and went home, man. Listen, Mel Money, what's your thoughts on this one, man? Show restraint when a woman first meets a man.
I mean, that's very important, I think, these days, because there's a huge difference between displaying thirsty behavior and showing interest. And I believe when it comes to a relationship, it's the woman's department, because she has to be the one to make that selection, what kind of relationship she's looking for. At the end of the day, it's her choice to accept a man as her boyfriend, husband, or one who does not provide her with any official title. And our job is to court her and to date her so she can be more open and receptive to the point that she wants some sort of relationship with us. I think that's the natural man and woman dance. And just to further give you this, to illustrate it, I'll give you an idea from a baseball point of view that us men, we like to pitch the ball based on a woman's nonverbal signs. And it's up to the woman if she wants to catch the ball. But I tell my sisters, in order to catch the right pitch, she should follow the 3 strategic zones that me and Mo have created. And the first one is the friend zone that we talked about. And this is where you don't have sex at all. And you see if the brother appreciates for what you have upstairs and not just downstairs, because we are visual creatures, but a high value man will want to get to know your substance as well. And this is where sisters should collect, I'll say, data and see if there's any chemistry within the zone. And then the second zone is the intimacy zone. This is where both individuals become verbally and physically affectionate towards each other. Also, this is where, I would say both individuals communicate as to where they want their relationship to be or to become further down the road, and see if they have the same values as one another. And then the final zone is the physical zone. And this is where sex is included on a consistent basis on top of the intimacy zone. And this is where an official title is put into place and both individuals are on the same page when it comes to the relationship. So, this is why I tell my sisters that you must have the emotions as well as logic. So that way you don't ever wonder if this brother is possibly wasting your time.
Absolutely, man. Listen, whew, a lot of fire, a lot of information there, but listen, we put it out there. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, you get something out of this. If this is you, hopefully you learn something on this one. We're going to jump right into the next one right here. Listen, one thing that you want to do that a lot of people are doing today, refrain from shooting your shot
Oh,
and allow him to put in effort. All right, allow him to put in the effort, man. You know why? Because here's the thing. There's three things. There's three reasons why you need to allow him to put in the effort. The first one is if you don't allow him to put in the effort, you just killed the chase. Okay, you're not gonna get chased no more. Two, you took away your chance to see him in a leadership role. All right, you know you want somebody that's a leader, right? So you took away your chance to see him in a leadership role. And three, you just fast forward your relationship. You heard Mel talk about the zones. You just fast forward your relationship through the friend zone and intimacy zone straight into the physical zone. And now he knows he got a fresh bag of chocolate chip cookies that he gonna try to destroy like the Cookie Monster. All right, so you messed the whole dynamic up by doing that. But anyway, be careful with that. Let him put in the effort. I'm coming to you, Mel Money. Talk to us about this one, man. Refrain from shooting your shot and let him put in the effort.
yeah, this is very true. I mean, some women invest too much in a relationship too soon, which makes it way easy for a counterfeit man to take advantage of her. And I feel like when a woman shoots her shot, it shows that she is needy and desperate and puts her at a disadvantage when it comes to meeting a brother who she is attracted to. I believe it's important to always be vigilant and maintain emotional self-control and use your flirtatious output so you don't present yourself as too easy due to bad new programming from society's limited beliefs when it comes to relationships. Because when you show your infatuation too early by shooting your shot on a consistent basis, it reveals your high level of interest in the brother before he has the opportunity to decipher your significance to him. And trust me, good brothers, we value what we work for. I mean, I tell my classy sisters that you'll know when you reach a mutual level of interest, when he's enthusiastic about you, when he's eager to always want to be with you, and how much initiative he makes contact with you. Because if a man is sincere and consistent in what he's doing, the chances are that means that you have some sort of importance in his mind. And despite 2020, one thing that will never expire is that men are natural hunters and women are physically designed to get our attention, whether it be the curves of a woman, the physiology of a woman, women who take gorgeous pictures on social media, and so much more. There's so much more which visually stimulates a brother to engage with that particular woman. So as my DBDS ambassador Nicole would say, pass the ball and allow him to shoot his shot.
No doubt. Now listen, Mel said a lot of key things in there, but one thing I just want to reiterate is if you're dealing with a real man, one value that he has is no handouts. Let me earn it. All right, it don't matter what it is. If it's money, if it whatever it is, you know, he want to earn that. And if it's your affection and your attention and your friendship, let him earn that. Coming to you, Monica. What's your thoughts on this one? Let him put in the effort.
I think women just need to remember, even kind of like what this that we said before. A man doesn't forget. Like he's not gonna forget you if he really wants you. He's not gonna forget about you. He's gonna chase after you. So I think one thing you should always remember is if he wants it, he's gonna shoot his shot. He's gonna come for you because he knows what he wants. I will say again, sometimes people's experience is different. I guess when you had that person in your life where they did show you that a guy got out of his way to make sure you're good, you know, and you didn't make it easy on him, but he actually is doing everything he can to prove to you that he's somebody that you want in his life, you know. I remember when I was first dating someone like that, it was just crazy because even just driving around, you know what I mean? Like Mo was saying, he doesn't want handouts. Like even just going somewhere, we'd probably go to work together, you know, even though we live close, and he'd still be like, "Oh no," you know what I mean? I got you, because he just never want that handout. So even though, yeah, so it's like it's just kind of one of those things where a man that really wants you, he's not gonna forget about you. So rest assured, if he really wants you, he's gonna come after you.
Exactly. So just going back to that story, I was saying, I didn't. Were you done, Monica?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. So I was just gonna say, back to that story I told. That's the exact same thing. I think that woman thought. She thought she was gonna be forgot about, but that was not gonna happen. Not in a million years. All right. So we're going to UT Quest. What's your thoughts on this one? Refrain from shooting your shot and allow
Well,
him to pursue.
with this particular subject, it puts me in a weird position because I feel like when you have old school values, then I totally understand where you're coming from. But as people, as individuals, and have different lives, every how can I put this? Every scenario doesn't work for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes when I see guys and they like, I see a girl, but I don't know if I want to shoot my shot. Some men have been shot down so many times that have that mentality, like, show me that you're interested first. I tell women, don't be so eager to go after the man, but just give him a notion that it's okay to approach you and then allow him to do the rest. You know what I'm saying? And then another scenario, like me and the guy, it's like he's so business that he's not really thinking about personal. You know what I'm saying? So I'm understanding the man that I'm like, yo, that's the one I want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm understanding him going after my prey. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to shoot my shot, but I'm going to maneuver in a way that's going to grab his attention respectfully and not so obvious, So we started to do business and stuff together, and in that moment of us handling business, he was like, okay, she's very smart. Okay. She's very driven. And then he's starting to see other things about me. And now he's like, okay, let me open up a little bit more than business. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like depending on the person, you have to maneuver differently because every situation is different. Just like every profession is different. In my profession, more women are outspoken because we're entertainers. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, once you get in and you have his attention, allow a man to be a man. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. It total sense. Yes, absolutely. There's different scenarios for everybody. So Mel Money, you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah. So this is where, and I completely understand what Quest is stating. This is where I explain to sisters that you gotta use your flirtatious output, because if you're the one taking the role of dating him, then that kind of takes away his leadership capabilities to show that he can engage with you and to approach you. It's sort of like, just to use this as an analogy, it's sort of like a man is in a vehicle driving a car. Like if he really likes a woman, he's going to see those signs, whether he's an introvert or extrovert. He is going to see those signs. We're our natural hunters. That's just how we are. We are hardwired to be that way. So when a woman takes away that man's effort to show that he likes her, it kind of puts her at a disadvantage and puts her in a way that it could be an opportunistic user. Because a lot of fake brothers out there will use this whole mantra to be like, it's 2020, let the woman shoot their shot and everything like that. And all along, he's camouflaged as a fake brother that's just using that woman to smash some chocolate chip cookies. And a lot of women put themselves in that predicament. So this is why it's very important to see if a man really likes you by allowing him to engage you after you display and show the signs that you're interested in that man.
I'll tell you what, one thing I don't want to see is a woman pumping gas or changing a tire with a dude anywhere within 50 feet. Because I'm going to have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have a real problem. I'm going to call Mel up. We got to see him. You know what I mean? So let him do his thing. You know what I mean? All right, y'all. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is DBD is Live, and we are talking about how to meet the right man and how to keep him. We'll be right back.
If you'd like to learn how to establish and maintain long-term meaningful relationships, join DBDS University today. You will learn about interpersonal relationships, first date tips, the relationship zones, emotional intelligence, and more.
Say thank you to my big brothers Mel and Mo for creating the DBDS University with the live, the book, the website. It's helped me so much grow as an individual.
Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together. Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women.
What up, what up, what up? Back in the DBDS Live studio with your man Mo, your girl Monica, your girl T Quest, and my man Mel Money. And we are talking about, for the ladies, how to attract and keep the right man. All right, we've been dropping a lot of jewels. We're going to go right into our next segment. What we're going to talk about now is...
Oh, Mo.
Yes, sir. Oh, you got some Facebook points.
Yeah,
What's
brother.
up,
Yeah.
Facebook?
So, Chandra James said, yes, T Quest. Okay, no doubt. My man Daryl, DJ Flavors Bishop, he said, the problem is that nowadays people want the reward without putting in the work. Very thoughtful, brother. Nicole Marie, love you guys. We love you too. Love you too. Kyle's watching. Shout out to Whitney Little, my man Art. Shout out to Art. Shout out to Alicia. No doubt, we're going to keep these shout outs going. Shout out to my girl TJ, Thailand again, no doubt.
What's up, y'all? If we forgot anybody, we out here. We here for you. So, keep tuning in. I'm glad you're here.
No doubt, man.
All right, we're going to jump into our next segment. Like I was saying, we're going to talk about the next thing we want to talk about is you must know how to recognize the right man. Now, we talked about red flags and we talked a little bit about green flags. And so that's what this is all about, So the way I look at it is like this. Y'all women need to get your PhD in recognizing red flags. You just need to do that because that's going to tell you everything. Sometimes you can just look at the cover and you don't have to read the book to understand what the hell is inside. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be a waste of your time. Sometimes it's like that, You need to have an idea of what you're looking for also. And it needs to be realistic, something realistic. This amazing dude just falling out the sky, going to grant you every wish. That ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Dudes are flawed. We got flaws too. So just understand that. And you come with some flaws too. So just understand that it's a journey and we're going to work it out together, right? And also, you got to be ready to grow beyond what you're comfortable with. I know, listen, I told you, me and Mel, we have confidential, sessions with a lot of women. And a lot of them keep making the same mistake over and over and over. And it's all because they're comfortable with a certain type of man. You know what I'm saying? It comes out really clear. And the thing is, you gotta be able to grow beyond that. You gotta feel yourself outside of that. So I'm coming to you, Monica. What's your thoughts on this one? Being able to recognize the right man.
I think some keys to recognizing the right man will include some of the things we were talking about previously, like a guy going for his shot, wanting to take care of you before you ask. That man that is going to be there and say, you good? You know what I mean? If your car's broken down, he's already trying to be over there to help you. I think his effort, just seeing that effort, not necessarily always seeing because again, some people are very materialistic. He might not have all of that, but he's going to do his best to make sure that he's there for you. I think that's the first thing you have to realize in a man that is the right man. Another thing he does is, I feel like men sometimes, or women sometimes, misconstrue a man maybe not necessarily hearing them or trying to fix something for them as like, oh, you're not listening to me. And sometimes all a woman wants is for you to listen. But I think a man that really cares about a woman is kind of just one of those like they want to fix the situation. So for instance, if I was coming to you and telling you something about, a problem I faced, a guy that really cares about you, it's just kind of like one of those green flags that I notice about a man, is a guy that really cares about you is going to say, well, what can we do? Or they're going to speak as in we, or, try to fix a situation, as opposed to, oh, for real? That happened? What? Sometimes it's like, just at the beginning, you know what I mean? Especially at the beginning of the relationship, at least, like, they're going to at least try to figure out something to say later on. Even if in that moment they did that, they're going to still try to figure out, like, how can we fix the situation? Especially if it's a serious one. How can we fix it? Instead of just like, whatever, So
Yeah.
I just noted that about a lot of dudes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
That's
makes
true.
your problem. That's your problem. You for reals like that? For real? Word?
Right.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, what? You can't pay rent? Oh man.
Yeah,
Like,
for real? You can't pay this month? Oh man, yo. T-Quest, what's your thoughts on this one? You gotta recognize the right man.
Well, I think what a lot of women have to recognize is the difference between a grown man and a grown boy. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's okay for you to meet a grown boy, but is the connection strong enough? Let me explain. Stop it.
I love it, girl. Continue.
It's all about, is that organic connection strong enough that you're willing to be there with him as he still grow to be that man? Because someone can grow to be that ideal man. It's all about how strong the connection, and if you're patient enough to go through that with him. It goes back from like the 9 to 5 and the CEO. Yeah, it's dope to meet a man who got his stuff together. You know what I'm saying? That's one less thing you have to worry about. But everyone's not perfect. Everyone's on a different point in the journey. You know what I'm saying? You gonna ride it out with me, or you be like, you know what? I ain't got time for you to get there, so I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Goes back to, is the connection that real? Because I'm a type of person, if I meet a man that's not where I'm at and he's below, but if that connection is real, I'm gonna see where your mentality is. If you really a go-getter, I can help you get there and beyond, because that's what a partner does. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to like the right man, there's a lot of great men out there, but is he the right man for you? And like you guys were stating about the whole red flags and stuff, a lot of people are too focused on red flags that they don't even appreciate the green flags. It kind of goes back to the 80-20 rule. You know what I'm saying? 80% is great, but you so focused on the 20, you're going to mess with the whole relationship before it can get to where it should be. You know what I'm saying? But that's just people and their mentality. And like I said, every situation is different. Every scenario is different. We can go back and forth, just like the whole gas station thing, pumping the gas, right? I mean, I've been in that situations like in my 20s and stuff, because in my mind, if it was my vehicle and I'm picking them up, and but then when I grew older, I'm like, even if it was in that situation, yeah, I could put my card in, but you should be pumping. But a lot of us have to grow there. A lot of us has to learn that. And it goes back to, a lot of people don't have proper guidance or people to emulate to show them what's right and what's wrong. And a lot of us have to grow to that level.
No doubt. Now, listen, I just want to add this because, we don't have people behind the scenes looking up data, so I don't have all the information. But when you were talking, T-Quest, it reminded me of a story I read, and it was the lady on the Real, Tia Mowry, I think her name is. Her husband, they went through the same kind of thing where she met him and he was at his low point or something, and then she just rolled with him, and the dude is in serious shows. He was in the show Biggie. He was a drug dealer, and Biggie played a real good role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I understand what you're saying. Mel Money, what's your thoughts on this one, man? You got to be able to recognize the right man. A woman needs
That was lovely what T-Quest said. I mean, I usually tell my classy sisters that his character and how he treats you should be the first thing you should notice before his popularity and his money. It's very critical to pay attention to a man's character to see if he has high integrity, to see if he's confident, to see if he's ambitious, respectful, especially to see if he has a backbone and so much more. And this, I believe, is where a woman's emotions should never override her logic, or else she may be with a man who does not have the same values as her. Furthermore, certain women must dive deeper to see how a man will affect her I would say emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. For example, if a sister who wants a family in the future is extremely attracted to a man who grinds on a consistent basis, but does so in a negative pursuit, like in other words, he's out there in the streets, and she's feeling him, which means her emotions are fully engaged, it's based off her emotions alone, then a wise woman will allow her logic or her rational thoughts to provide her with a clear sense whether this is the kind of man that she can build a strong foundation with and grow together in the near future. Now, I believe a wise woman, even though she has an emotional connection and she's feeling them, she will understand that if a man is impatient to risk his life and freedom, then it's more than likely that he does not have the wisdom and patience to raise a child and lead a family in a safe and stable environment. Because truthfully, a man's first duty is to have a purpose in life based on his productive pursuit in a positive manner, and to protect his home by not putting his significant other as well as his family in danger in any way, shape, or form.
Boom. There it is, y'all.
Pew, pew.
Those special effects are dope.
Yes, no doubt. Now, listen, man. We dropped a lot of jewels. We're going to jump into our next segment here. And the next segment is, you got to be realistic about who you are and what you bring to the table. So we were talking about some 9 to 5 and CEO, right? This fits right up that alley. So here's the thing. I'm just going to jump it off this way. Listen, don't be out here driving a Toyota Corolla, working part-time at CVS, thinking that you want to do with a full-blown career on Wall Street. Okay? That's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But here's the thing, though. For real, look, being a woman, that could still happen, though, because a dude can pick you. He can pick you. He ain't gonna worry about all that other stuff because it's his job to be the provider and bring all that to the table. So that could still happen. But my point is this: just be realistic about who you're trying to deal with. All right, don't set the bar so high that you ain't gonna never meet nobody. You know what I mean? Now, one other thing, I might get some flack for this, but I'm ready. I'm ready for it because listen, a lot of women have learned that they're the prize. That's wrong. Stop thinking like that. Change your mindset. You know what the prize is? The prize is a strong, stable relationship. That's the prize. Stop thinking you're the prize by yourself because that's not going to work out. Coming to you, Mel Money. What you think about this one, man? Be realistic about who you are and what you bring to the table.
Man, that was dope what you just said, man. Listen, how should I say this? Well, I truly believe that the natural feminine and masculine dance comes from different angles to attract the opposite sex based on who you truly are. To elaborate further, I feel like men, we get the type of women we earn based on what we're doing. So based on reality, the kind of man that a woman desires, such as being a provider, a leader, or assertive in the business world, demonstrates, I would say, action-oriented traits. And these are things that men need to do in order to be a provider, protector, and leader. So truthfully, the more that a man do these things, the more that he will earn better options as far as women go. And this is why some men who are less ambitious, have low integrity, allow people to walk all over them, and those who are extremely insecure may not end up with that high value woman because these particular brothers don't do the work and they end up with less not to good options. On the opposite spectrum, I believe women, they get the kind of men they deserve based on who they are. As I mentioned, for the men, it's all about doing. The women is all about being. So for my sisters out there, you have to ask yourself, are you being a man's peace? Are you being respectful? Are you being loyal? Are you being classy? Are you being supportive? Are you being nurturing? In other words, are you being these things? For example, if you are extremely independent within your relationship, and that's the mind frame that you possess, then you may end up with a dependent little boy, one who values the mother-child relationship where he sees you as a surrogate mother and he plays the role as your son and not your man. Another example is if you're the type of woman that is very ratchet and you want somebody like Barack Obama, but yet you're giving up the middle finger, using obscene gestures, you're like one of those love and hip hop women, then more than likely you're not going to get that kind of a man because your whole attitude and everything does not align with that particular brother. So as I stated before, based on the women, based on who you are, more than likely will determine the kind of man you will get and deserve.
No doubt. T-Quest, what's your thoughts on this one? Be realistic about who you are and what you bring to the table.
Oh, I know who I am.
I know. I am. Head action up in
Whoa,
that joint, boy.
whoa.
No. All right, I'll be serious. Okay, so yeah, you're right. It's all about knowing who you are. I wrote some notes down because I realized when you guys are talking, I'd be like, I wanted to say something and I forget. This time I actually wrote down the notes. Okay, the first thing I wrote down is something I used to tell people that come to me for advice, right? People are always talking about, I want this, I want that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so what happens if your ideal man or woman present themselves to you? Are you going to be what they want? You know what I'm saying? It goes both ways. And then the next question I asked them, would you date yourself?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And a lot of them be like, I said, exactly. You know what I'm saying? People always talk about one thing, but once again, a relationship is not one-sided. It goes both ways. They have to go hand in hand. Also, you can't expect so much from someone if you can't do it yourself. You know what I mean? You can't expect the man to have all this stuff or get you all these things. You can't do it yourself. You want him to pay all your bills. Can you pay your own bills? You know, it's not realistic. Some people hit the jackpot, and that's cool and all, but the lottery, everyone's not going to win. You know what I'm saying? Also, you was talking about you are not the prize. Yeah, you're right. The relationship is the prize.
That's deep.
You know what I'm saying? The relationship is the prize. Because I always tell people when you're talking to people or building to be a relationship, it's not supposed to be a burden. It's supposed to be a blessing. Why? Because a relationship is optional. You know, you decide who's going to be in your life. You decide who you're going to be with, you know? So why would you want someone that's going to stress you, aggravate you, and not really be that additional happiness to life? You know what I'm saying? When you're out there in that world, it's already crazy. It's already dark. It's already dim.
Right.
But who wants to go home to more darkness? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to bring that light back into them.
Real talk.
You know, if I'm having a hard day at work, my man having a hard day at work, I'm not going to be like, why you 5 minutes late? What you doing? And if you got we on quarantine, you could have been here before 8 o'clock.
Oh.
Like, that's so dumb.
You got the receipt from CVS? Where
You know
were
what
you?
I'm saying? Like, no, and I've seen this, you know, and I tell people, even if someone's supposed to call you back or be at a certain time, you should be more concerned before you start trying to cuss them out. Something could have happened. You know what I mean? Stop. Like, you should have called me. Like, yo, you good? Is everything okay? Be more concerned first. You know, like, you're the reason causing the issues in your situation, your relationship, but you want to blame the other person. No one holds himself accountable. You know what I'm saying? And that just goes. And then you talk about something about like a man and what you want. Like me personally, the type of person I am, I've never judged nobody, no matter if they had something or they didn't have something. With me, it's all about the chemistry. You know what I'm saying? So if you down here and I like you and I rock with you, I'm going to be here with you and we going to grow together. You know what I'm saying? But of course, if an ideal world, I will already want a man that's already an alpha. You know what I'm saying? And be the leader. But if he ain't there, at the end of the day, I'm your partner. And as a partner, we got to get through this together. But, you know, that's my...
Listen.
Okay.
I just got to say one thing
Love
to
it.
the people
That's
out
her
there.
soapbox. That's her tea.
Everybody out there, I'm sorry for that verbal butt whooping you just took. I'm sorry for that. But listen, sometimes that's how it's got to go down.
No doubt.
Coming to you, Monica, what's your final word on be realistic about who you are and what you bring to the table?
Yes. You know, it's actually interesting because I think my friend was reading a relationship book the other day and she asked me, she's like, do you think I'm worthy or do you think I bring anything to the table? So I don't know if she was listening to something like like this and just trying to ask herself questions, but you know, sometimes you do need that self-evaluation. Am I that kind of person that when I approach a relationship, like, you know, after a certain point, as so many relationships don't work, of course, we're not saying it's your fault, but it's just one of those things. It's a self-evaluation. What am I doing? Am I coming to a relationship like I'm entitled? You know what I mean? Am I coming to a relationship bringing love and nurture? And I think when you do come into a relationship feeling very entitled, then you are opposite to what Tremuel was saying. Like, you're not going to be as nurturing. You're not going to be as caring. Some women put a lot of their value on just their looks, or not even just looks all the time. Sometimes maybe they can throw down in the kitchen and, you know, different things. But I think what men care about the most is just that you are that person, men and women, that you're that person that's there for them, that they can come to, and you can be that sense of peace for them. I think that's the thing that people value the most, and they don't realize it. And also another comment on, I think T-Quest was saying something about being a burden. You don't want to come home and then be like, come home and be burdened by this person. Like, oh my God, you know, like sitting in the parking lot, just waiting. Like, oh my God, I come home, this is what I'm gonna get. You know, like, so like, you know, like, it's like there's a difference nowadays. I think between like a compromise, which is kind of like more flexibility, and being a burden to somebody, and being that person that's, hey, you know, what's going on? Are you okay? Before you just bite the person's head off. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you might be mad. Yes, you might want to scream at them because this, that, and the third, but take a second to not be so selfish and entitled, and come at them with an understanding, and come at them as somebody that's just a sincerely caring person that loves whoever you're with, and try to understand them first before you start going in, you know? So.
No doubt. Listen, if you got anything out of that, be supportive. That's what it's all about, right? Being supportive. Now, listen, we've been talking about how to attract and keep the right man. Right now, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have our Jerry Springer moments, our final summary for the show. Sit tight. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is DBDS live in the building.
Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women. If you would like to learn how to establish and maintain long-term meaningful relationships, join DBDS University today. You will learn about interpersonal relationships, first date tips, the relationship zones, emotional intelligence, and more.
Say thank you to my big brothers Mel and Mo for creating the DBDS University with the live, the book, the website. It's helped me so much grow as an individual.
What up, what up, what up? Back in the studio. And we've been talking DBD's live studio. We talk about how to attract and keep the right man. Here with your girl Monica, here with your girl T-Quest, and my man Mel Money. So at this point, it's time for us to do our Jerry Springer moment. What we do is we give our final summaries. Look like my girl T-Quest is done.
Oh no.
It's chilling out there. She'll be back though. You know, she's gonna be good. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna start anyway. We're gonna go into this. What I'd like to do is jump to Monica. And Monica, tell us you know, your final words on how to attract and keep the right man.
So how to attract and keep a good man. Make sure you're looking for the green flags more than anything, and don't just overlook them, but also just make sure that you're somebody that somebody else would want to date. So that means is you're taking care of yourself, you're being the best you can be, you're going after your goals, so that at the end of the day, that person wants to be around you, knows there was somebody that has their head on straight, and both of y'all can contribute to the relationship. Never lose yourself for somebody else. Get somebody to compliment you, not complete you. So,
boom, just like that. Yes.
Fire.
T-Quest, talk to us, T-Quest. How to attract the right man. Final words.
Final words. Know who you are. Love yourself first. You know, a lot of women have a tendency of loving the other person more than they're loving themselves. And in the end, that could be a red flag. You know what I'm saying? Know who you are. Know what you want. Know what you desire. And be like, imagine if this man mama was to meet you. Would she be proud of the person you are today? Or would she be embarrassed and see her own red flags? You know what I'm saying? And just stay true to you. Know what you want. And if it's meant to be, it would be. And like a wise man once told me, if not, there's other fish in the sea.
Get your
Love
fishing
that.
pole out, your tackle box, head down to the ocean. What's up, man? Money. Final thoughts.
Well, I just want to say that wise
keep a
man.
right man.
Well, I just want to say that wise man was really wise. Yeah. So listen, I want to just thank Monica and T-Quest for coming on the show. You guys were simply phenomenal. So thank you for coming on the show. Thank you. So I just want to finish off that by saying, without a clear focus on your moral codes and rules of engagement, you run the risk of climbing a very long ladder only to find yourself leaning against the wrong side of the wall. And certain sisters must understand that when you allow a man into your life with any sort of challenge or strong filtration process, he won't value you the way he would if he worked to earn a place in your life. This is why it's extremely important to always put a man's character before anything else to determine if he's the right man for you.
Just like that. Look, I say every show, man, I learned something new. And let me just thank our guests. You guys were amazing. Monica, T Quest. I always learn something. So glad to have you here. I like to learn and grow. Every single show I do that. My final words are real simple. Keep your eyes open and the bag of chocolate chip cookies closed until you are confident and ready. Mel Money, send us off.
Had to get back a little bit. I know where he was going.